Good morning. We're starting our day with a fun, huge rocky descent down from Mount Moosilauke. Had a fine night last night. It was a little chilly. As you can tell, I'm a little bundled up. Temperature is probably like 45 degrees or so. It's not too cold, but let's see. We had a good number of people there. There's like limited tenting. Only like 2 spots or so those were full. Another guy in a hammock, and then like 4 of us in the shelter itself. So not overcrowded, but definitely full. And today, let's see, we'll finish this descent. This will get us into Kinsman's Notch, and then we're pushing like almost 18 miles to get to Franconia Notch, where we'll get into a motel for the night. I can do some resupply and stuff, I think. Get shuttled around a little bit. It's just going to be one of those mad dashes to get into the place and get everything done in one day and then get out of there. But I'll spin the camera around and you can kind of see what this descent looks like so far. Apparently it's supposed to get worse than this a lot. It's going to be slow going all the way down. Yeah, this is lots of fun. Nice little flowing waterfall stream that we're following. As I try not to trip and die going down this hill. It's definitely precarious. So definitely watch your step. Nobody ever says how beautiful this descent is. I feel like I gotta stop every 5 minutes and just take a look at the waterfalls. We're probably getting close to the bottom, feels like. And it's still rocky and precarious. Maybe it's evening out a little bit, or it should soon. I think we've just about made it. That descent was the roughest part of Moosilauke, but it was very, very beautiful. There's the road crossing at Kinsman Notch. Disappear back into the woods. Look back at Moosilauke a little bit. Of course, that's not the summit. The summit's way behind there. Let's see. Brook shelter is the next shelter. 6.7. I think it's going to be like this like all day. Just these steep up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. The 2 big peaks we're hitting is south and then north Kinsman. Yeah, all day is gonna be like this. Just stumbling over roots and rocks and ups and downs. I can kind of move at a decent pace. It's just everything is a massive tripping hazard. Okay, let's talk weather for a bit. Remember how, like, just yesterday or so, I was complaining about being super hot in the high 80s? Yeah, those days are done. Just like the flip of a switch. High today is going to be 60 degrees. And it's like 55 or so right now. And the wind chill is cold. Wind chill is about 40. Like, as long as I'm moving, I'm warm enough, but if you stop, it gets chilly kind of thing. Today is just supposed to be cold and cloudy. I think tomorrow might be a little warmer. Temperature closer to 70, I think. Tomorrow we're basically starting the section of the whites up Franconia Ridge. So that should be okay. However, next day is the weather day. It's like 90% chance of rain and thunderstorms. I don't know if it's like just afternoon line of storms passes through or if it's supposed to be all day kind of thing. That's the part that's got me semi-worried. So do I take like 3 zeros and wait out the weather, or just charge on through it? Right now, I'm thinking charge on through it. But I gotta take a better look at what the hour by hour forecast looks like for that second day out. But I think it's the third day out is when we do Mount Washington, and the weather on that day is supposed to be good, I think. I'm just gonna keep mentioning how incredibly rugged today is. The whole day's gonna be like this. If I knew it was gonna be like this, I probably would have made it a 12-mile day, but it is what it is. Now we are in a race against time. Well, this is definitely one of the most rugged days I've ever had on trail. This is actually the flattest bit of the day. I am friggin' exhausted already. And I hate the fact that I'm in a rush. If only I had a heads up that it was gonna be like this, I would have made an extra day out of this section. But there's no way to know that. But I'm just laughing to myself so hard at how ridiculous this trail is. Look at this muddy mess. What is going on here? I don't even know what is happening here. Holy crap. Alright, I gotta put the camera away. So I just passed a guy going southbound, and I just had to ask him, I'm like, man, you're like the 50th person I've passed going southbound. And he's like, yeah, just out for the weekend. I have no idea where to go right here. Anyway, I was gonna say there's like more people on trail than I've ever seen, I think. And this is like the most rugged section. Whew. And he was like, oh yeah, just wait, it gets worse. I'm like, okay. This may be, rugged is the term I'm gonna keep using. This may be the most rugged day I've ever seen. Need to stop and enjoy these views. My body's getting destroyed by this terrain. I think we're like half a mile to the shelter coming up. What sucks is this is taking too long. I don't have the time for a rest break, but I gotta. Okay, Eliza, Brook. There should be a full shelter back here, but I'll have to just make this quick. Back on trail, done with the break. I was there for 10 minutes, and I finally caught up with the mass of people that were, I knew they were ahead of me by like half a day. They were all at the shelter. So, I don't like being around crowds. There was a lot of people there. So I was just in, down some snacks, and out. So now we got a big uphill. We're going up the Kinsman's. Got South Kinsman Peak, North Kinsman Peak, and then a huge descent into the notch. And all that's like, got 9 more miles or so. So I think we're right at like halfway for the day. Oh, which is rough. Rough day. The march up Kinsman. So far this is way easier. I just love how the trail is like following this brook all the way uphill. This is very beautiful scenery. It's just strenuous. It's gonna be a long day. Very rugged. It is amazingly beautiful up here. And I was just thinking, nobody gave me the heads up on this, but I seriously did not know that it was going to be rough like this. I thought the rough areas started after Franconia Ridge, not like 50 miles before it. This is very surprising. Otherwise, I would have completely changed my schedule. But look at this. It's freaking awesome up here. I'm just gonna pull my camera out every 5 minutes and film something. Just incredible. Yeah. Despite all the pain, this is 100% worth it. All the frustrations and my grumblings into the camera, this is 100% worth it. What else would I be doing today? Oh man, it's so beautiful. There's where I just came from, straight down. In all my years preparing for this and watching YouTube videos of other people hiking, I don't remember anybody ever filming Kinsman going up and talking about how difficult it is. This is the worst climb I've officially ever done on this trail. This is 100 times worse than Moosalok. Everybody talks about how tough Moosalok is. No. This is way worse. This is the worst I've ever seen. This is the fun part. I'm not complaining. I am, but I'm not. I'm just being real. This is horrendous. This is ridiculous. And if I can't get to Franconia Notch, I'm sleeping on the street tonight. And I'm also out a hotel bill. Okay, I get to a point where there's a blaze going this way in the trail here, and I'm like, okay, we're going this way. We're doing what now? There's no trail. It just keeps getting better. Just remember, the parts I'm filming are the easiest parts where I can actually hold the camera. When I put it away, those are the really, really, really difficult parts. Right now, I'm gonna put the camera away and climb up this mess. At least we got a nice view for a minute. You guys would not believe how terrible this uphill is. I'm just going to keep complaining about it because nobody else apparently ever does. I've never heard of this mountain before. Nobody ever talks about how rough it is. This is the most physically challenging day of my entire life. That's how bad it is. It just keeps getting worse. From what you've seen, it is worse. It is way worse than what you've seen on film. It's not the official top yet, but I don't know if the official top has a view or not. This is South Kinsman. The most difficult climb of my life. And just a little bit further, that'll be the peak of it. Now we're past the South Peak itself. There's a lot of day hikers and stuff up there. Moving to North Kinsman, which is a mile from here. I just hope the terrain across is somewhat decent. I could use a break. Well, I think I'm past the North Peak of Kinsman now. OBG starting the descent. And there's more people up here. All day hikers. There's more people than a 74-day weekend in the Roan Highlands. It's crazy. There's literally hundreds of people coming up this way. Little kids and dogs and everything, so the going down this way can't be that bad, right? If everybody's coming up it. Yeah, there's still hellacious climbs and descents going on. You can't beat this view. So far going down is not as bad as going up, but everything hurts. Everything is severely bruised. I'm in a lot of pain. There's a big trail intersection. Kinsman Pond Shelter. I'm gonna skip it, I don't care. Fish and Jimmy Trail. That's the way we're going. AT. Lonesome Lake Hut. Yep. Up that way. And some other trail over there. But I'm going that way, I think. Oh, this is straight down. I still got 4.5 miles of this at least. And since the big split off trail junction, I haven't seen any tourists. So they must be coming and going from somewhere else. I'm gonna need serious physical therapy after this. I need to weigh my options in the next coming days and replan what I'm doing, I think, because today has totally thrown everything out of whack. The whole reason I have hotel reservations in the first place is because everything is booked. So it is extremely doubtful that I can zero here because there's no room. I gotta figure all that out. Here's the first hut in the Whites. This is the Lonesome Lake Hut. Here's Lonesome Lake. Just a small thing, but it's nice. Yeah.
Actually, well, I used to another one to this. It's discontinued. I think it discontinued in the okay. And they were a favorite of like, not the favorite, but like Spartan race people. They're called King Mountains.
Here's the crossing for I-93. We're going under. Okay, we're in Franconia Notch. I'm just double checking some stuff. I gotta go to the Liberty Springs trailhead, which should be to the left, not the Flume Visitor Center. I'm not going that way. That's a mile away from here. I thought it was less than that. But I think the other Liberty Springs trail diverts off of this one somewheres. And that's where I gotta coordinate for a pickup. There should be a parking lot down there, I guess. I don't know. And on top of everything, I still have to walk a mile on this Blue Blaze to get to the parking lot. Okay, I'm in the motel. I got picked up from the trailhead parking lot. Yeah, that was a long walk through the woods just to get there. That service was free to get picked up from the trailhead to come here to the motel. You had to pay $5 for the guys to shuttle you into town to do the resupply run. So that's only $5. So I'm gonna get that in like 2 minutes. I just got a shower. I'm gonna reassess the entire stretch through the whites and the presidentials from scratch, just based on today's experience. I gotta tackle that when we get back. I'm gonna go do my food resupply and everything now. The only other issue is I have no idea what I'm getting or how long I'll be on for this next stretch. Originally it was planned for like 5 days. I did want to take a little bit extra food anyway, so I think I'm just going to get 6 days of food, call it good. There's a Subway nearby apparently, so I think I'm going to load up on some sub sandwiches. That'll be dinner and stuff tonight. That's what I'm looking for. What else? I'm going to go get that, 6 days of food, sandwiches for dinner for tonight. Then we'll come back here, and then I'm going to reassess everything. And we'll have a good long chat on what happened today. That's coming up. Now I'm back from all of the shopping. I got dinner and everything. So first things first, I'm gonna eat because I'm super hungry. So I got a footlong from Subway. And then at the grocery store, I got one of these fruit smoothie drinks thing. These are friggin' awesome. So I'm gonna like drink this whole thing. And then I'll show you the food. And then I gotta replan everything. So yeah, we'll figure that out in a minute. I don't know what I'm doing through the whites right now. I think this is about like a 99% solution of what this next stretch is going to look like. We'll be getting back on at Franconia Notch. Was talking with the guy here and what times they shuttle people back, and he was like no earlier than like 7. I'm thinking more like 8 o'clock, and we'll just slow roll it a 10-mile day to the Garfield Ridge shelter. That'll be, this is all going to be rough, so the first climb out of here is going to be a big climb, so just 10 miles, that'll be fine. Garfield Ridge. At the far right there, I put which sites are pay sites. I think just about everything is a pay once you get there. You can get like a discount thing where you can get half off or something. I'll have to figure that out later. But day 2 up there is going to be like a 14.5-mile day to the Ethan Pond campsite. Then maybe 9.3 to the Nauman tent site. Some of these are just weird based on how the distances are and trying to catch between stuff. But anyway, then this next day it's going to have to be 14.9 between this tent site and the Osgood tent site, and that'll get us through Mount Washington there at the mile 1860.2. That'll be the day we do that. That next morning, as we're hiking out of Osgood, we can get down to the Pinkham Notch Visitor Center, and apparently they do meals and stuff. I think we can catch breakfast there. I don't know if it's for like guests only, or you can just jump in and catch a breakfast, kind of like when we were through the Shenandoahs. We just went into that lodge and got the dinner. So that'd be cool if we can catch that. Right now, in between here, it has to be like a 17.8 to Imp shelter. That's pretty far. So I'm thinking if it's a rough day on that one, I'm going to have to look for stealth sites. Just cruising around in gut hooks. It looks like there are stealthing opportunities, so we may be able to cut that short by some. Otherwise, it'll be whatever the remainder will be to get us into the Rattle River hostel is right on the trail as we come out to the road and exit the whites at this area. So hopefully I can get into this hostel here. No reservations yet. I'll look at booking them somewhere while I'm up in the mountains. I'll see what I can do. If not, I'll have to get into the town of Gorham, I think, is a few miles down the road. And there could be hotel, motel, hostel options there, apparently. So that is 6 days, and I've got 6 days worth of food. So that's what I'm going to go with so far. And this is my 6 days of food. Breakfast, I got Pop-Tarts. Lunches and snacks, I got a bunch of bars and stuff. Dinners are going to be the instant mashed potatoes, and then dump in each one of the albacore packets and one of the tuna creations. So there we go, 6 days of food. I think I'm going to be the heaviest I've ever been with water carries between water sources and all of this stuff. Now that the resupply and all that's taken care of, let's take a quick minute to talk about why today was so crazy. I think there was two big factors. I was totally unprepared for what the terrain was going to be like. Everyone that I've ever seen hike the trail on like YouTube and stuff, everybody focuses on Mount Moosilauke, and everybody I've been around, as they talk about this area, they're like, oh, Mount Moosilauke, that's the big one. Before you go into the, presidential range and Franconia Ridge and all that, nobody talks about Kinsman. Comparing the two, so when you first come into this area, you get Smarts Mountain, Mount Cube, Mount Moosilauke, and they progressively get a little bit more difficult. It's deeper and higher and all that good stuff. Mount Moosilauke was a joke compared to Kinsman. Kinsman was 100 times worse than Mount Moosilauke, and nobody ever talks about that. This is just my personal experience apparently, but I tried to capture that on video, but just take my word for it. That was a nightmare of a climb, because I didn't know it was going to be that bad. I had planned for like this 18-mile day to go through that stretch. Yeah, that was a big mistake. It never should have been that much hiking through that area, so that was crazy. So anyway, chop that into smaller sections if you can, if you're doing it this trip. Anyway, as far as aches and pains and stuff, all my back pain's gone that I've had a couple of days ago. Today I had knee pain. I don't know if that's going to go away and stuff overnight. The bottoms of my feet have been beat to hell. Hopefully that pain goes away. The palms of my hands have been beat to hell just from holding the trekking poles and going downhills and stuff, to where I have my hands on top of the handles on the trekking poles. So my hands are like really sore and beat up right now. Hopefully that kind of heals up. So no matter what, we're going up Franconia Ridge tomorrow. Weather's supposed to be okay. It sprinkled rain here this evening already, so everything's going to be wet going up, which is also going to be a concern. But tomorrow should be okay weather-wise. And then I think there's going to be lots of rain and stuff in the forecast still for the day after tomorrow, I think. Something like that. So, I don't know. I'm just going to keep playing it safe. But there could be like high winds and stuff going over the above tree line sections on some of the mountains. So we'll see. I'll try to play it as safe as I can, but we'll see. Anyway, I think I've got a good plan for how I've got my food and stuff. I'm just going to be heavy the first couple of days out, but there is halfway through the presidential range and all that, there is a road crossing so I can get out, and I think it cuts into Gorham in the middle, versus towards the end of the thing also gets into Gorham. Anyway, so that could be an out if I needed it. But that's all for now. I'm going to try to just organize a few more things and then go to bed. So maybe sleep in a little bit. We're only doing like 10 miles, I think, or something like that. So easier day. I don't need to rush. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. I think that's about it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the morning. And good morning. Today we're going up Franconia Ridge. This time I'm expecting a steep, crazy climb, so I'm a little more mentally prepared, as it were, I guess. But anyway, we'll have a lot of fun. I was looking at the weather and stuff. Today's weather should be okay. Tomorrow is the day that is probably going to be a little crazy. I've got backup plans. I mean, like, worst case scenario, we're basically going to take a zero on trail up in the mountains. So I don't know. But it could rain all day, isolated thunderstorms, that kind of stuff. All this crazy stuff that you don't want to be stuck up in the mountains for. I think I'm going to press anyway. We just may have to take a zero up in the mountains somewhere, but we'll play with that tomorrow, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to pack up here, basically ready to go. and we'll get back to Franconia Notch and start the climb here soon. I just got dropped off. I'm about to go across this bridge behind me. We're back at Franconia Notch, where we left the trail yesterday. So I had a very good stay at the, that was the Liberty Springs, or Mount Liberty Lodge. I think it was Mount Liberty Lodge, yeah. They'll pick you up and drop you off back from their motel for free, and then it was like $5 for the shuttle into town to get the resupply. So it was really easy to get all that stuff knocked out. I've got one extra Pop-Tart I'm finishing up real quick, and then we'll hit the trail. So far I'm only like a half mile up, and the Franconia Ridge Trail in 2.3, I think that's about where the actual top of the ridge is at. So it's not that far overall till we're up on Franconia Ridge itself. Beautiful views up there usually, but we're kind of overcast clouds at the moment, and I think that's supposed to be in the forecast for all day today, so I'm not too concerned, I guess. I'd like to have good weather on top of Mount Washington, that's for sure. We may be able to get that. So far, not that bad. Just going nice and slow. It's just stair-stepping up over these boulders. I love how you can see, like, way off in the distance of what we're going up to. Just passing the Liberty Springs campsite here. There's caretakers at every site. They're all pay from this point on pretty much, so $10 I think is the usual rate, apparently. Not staying here, so just gonna steal some water. This is the last water source before where I'm planning on staying at the Garfield site, which is like another 7.5 miles or something from here. So we'll find the spring and continue on. All right, we're on the actual Franconia Ridge Trail now. So now it's just bebopping between all the peaks. Little ups, little downs. Ooh. There was a side trail for Mount Liberty Peak, but we're skipping that because there's nothing to see. We're definitely socked in the weather. Getting very close to the top of Little Haystack, and it was definitely getting steep the last little bit. I think we're still like 0.2 maybe to the very top. Definitely not as bad as Kinsman though. Here's the top of Little Haystack. Definitely fogged in up here. Currently headed up Mount Lincoln, and I've had to take my glasses off because they're too wet and it's misty. It's like we're walking in a cloud, but I can see well enough close objects to continue hiking. I just can't wear my glasses right now. And we're at the top of Mount Lincoln. Keep on moving. And we're at the summit of Lafayette. The Garfield campsite's 3.9. That's the one I was aiming for. I'm still debating on whether I should push beyond it or not. But there's the top of Lafayette. Still fogged in. We're making our way down Mount Lafayette, and the clouds have just lifted a little bit. I can just imagine what this would look like on a clear day. We got maybe, I don't know, half a mile or so till we hit back in tree line. And it's been in the clouds and everything, with the wind chill, it was kind of cold if you're just sitting there, but if you're hiking, you'd be fine. But right now, kind of tucked in some rocks, the sun's trying to peek out. It definitely feels warm. It is not a cold day. This is the final uphill for the day, up to the top, Mount Garfield. And then our intended shelter is just like a 0.3 or something past the summit, I think. But the weather's slowly clearing up a little, and the sun's out. We may actually have a semi-decent view from up top of here. We'll see in a little bit. We're on the top of Garfield, and we're just at the top of the clouds, and there's just little intermittent breaks where you can kind of poke out and see something. So there's a little peek of something in the background there. I think that's all stuff we've come over, so that might be like Lafayette back that way, I think. But it's really cool just seeing all the clouds wisp on right on by, just right in the clouds. Well, making our way down Garfield now. I think from the peak here, it's only like a 0.3 to the shelter/tenting area. So we'll get to check that place out, and that'll be the intended campsite for the night. I'm kind of tossing around whether I should push more miles or not, but I like having a kind of a slow-rolled, easy day. And overall, the terrain, I mean, it's rough, but I'm comparing everything to going up Kinsman now, and this is way easier than Kinsman, so everything's easy now once you've done that thing. Now it's just this kind of mess of rocks that we got to get down, but we're close. It won't take too long, I don't think. And we'll get to check out how that whole dealing with the AMC and pay sites and stuff works. There's the trail split off. AT continues down that way. We're gonna go to the campsite. And here's our water source. So I'm gonna load up with everything I need here, and then we'll go up to the campsite. Arrived at the Garfield hut. This is a really nice looking little, well, shelter, I guess I should say. But got plenty of room. Looks pretty new. Top and bottom decks. Right now I'm the only one here in the shelter. I think there's one other guy I saw up here. I think he's going to be tenting out and around, but there's bear boxes over there, designated cooking area, privy. Alright, I'm all settled into the shelter, and a lot more people are starting to show up, so I'm taking care of just the usual stuff. I got food and everything taken care of already. I'm going to go bury myself in some editing, and I'll go ahead and just sign off here. Tomorrow's going to be intended to be a big day, but that's kind of weather dependent. I think we just got to get through the roughest stuff in the morning, and then the second half of the day should mellow out, and that's when the weather's expected. So it shouldn't be too bad, but we'll kind of see how it goes. But yeah, I'll go ahead and sign off here. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.